Good morning and good evening, everyone. My name is Arun Behera, and just to give you a quick introduction of myself, yes, I've been in IT service management, customer services, and client success for over 19 years, which basically means I've seen more outages than Netflix on a Friday night. Over these 2 decades, I have had the privilege of working with some of the top multinational companies. I've been lucky enough to be part of some high-performing teams, and also let's be honest, a few not so high-performing ones as well. You know that kind, right? Where one person does all the work, another person just asks, "Can we take this offline?" and the rest are mysteriously on mute. But there is the good news. I have had the privilege of building some truly high-performing teams, and that's what this presentation would be about. I've put together some simple guidelines and cheat codes. Yes, cheat codes, because building great teams doesn't have to be feel like playing the hardest level of a video game with no lives left. So buckle up. This isn't going to be a boring lecture. Think of it as a mix between a leadership playbook and a survival guide and maybe a bit of corporate stand-up comedy. Let's get on with it, shall we? All right. Before we dive in, let me put you on the spot. Have you ever had that one person in your team who can give you a 10-minute TED talk on how committed they are, but when it is the time to deliver, you are still waiting for the work to be done. You're missing deadlines and they are nowhere to be seen. The only thing they deliver on time is excuses. Sometimes you wonder if their real research project is building the list of excuses. Or the opposite type, the superstar, finishes the work early, smashes targets, brilliant output, but thinks that the rules are just optional. Processes are just suggestions. On a Monday morning, they would come up to you and say, "Sorry, boss, not feeling it today." Yes, we've all been there, right? And here is the truth. No matter where you are in your leadership journey, whether you are managing a 5 people team, 50 people, or just gearing up for your very first leadership role, people in the workforce almost always fall into four big buckets, four quadrants. And that's what we are going to unpack today. But before we get there, let me ask you something important. If I said treating everyone fairly means treating everyone dash, what would be your answer? Most of you, because you are that nice, that empathetic, heart of gold human beings, you would say equally. And hey, I completely get it. That sounds noble. But here is my slightly dangerous opinion on that. It might put the HR in an uncomfortable position. Treating everyone fairly is treating everyone differently. Yes, differently. Not unkindly, not unfairly, differently. Because to me, fairness isn't about one size fits all. It's about treating people based on what they bring to the table, the potential they have, and what they actually need in order to grow. And today, I'm going to give you a simple framework that will help you understand exactly who is in your team, know how to get the best out of each type of person, and most importantly, make sure your best people don't just stay, they stay yours. So, ready to see the framework? Let's talk about two words that decides everything in team performance: commitment and capability. Commitment is simple. Do they care? Are they willing to put in the effort? And capability is, do they have the skills to actually deliver? Some people call it the will and skill graph. I prefer commitment and capability. It's sharper and more real world. Now picture this with me. Two lines, commitment on x-axis, capability on the y-axis. Put them together and you get a simple 2 into 2 matrix. And here is the magic. This one little graph can tell you exactly what kind of team you have, where each person stands, and most importantly, what you as leader need to do next. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. It is like getting X-ray vision into your team's performance. Let's deal with the quadrants one by one. All right, let's start with the toughest quadrant, low skill, low will. These are the folks who don't yet have the skills, and honestly, they don't seem very interested in building them either. Now, let's be clear. We don't just give up on people. We coach, we train, we mentor. But if after two, three genuine attempts, nothing changes, then as leaders, we face a choice. Picture this. Someone joins your team, you explain the tools, give them the shadowing buddies, even create a step-by-step guide. 3 months later, they are still struggling with the basics. Worse, they have started dodging responsibility. At that point, keeping them in the same role is like asking a fish to climb a tree. It is unfair to you, it is unfair to them. And here is where many of us, including me in my early days, felt the guilt. Putting someone on a PIP or suggesting they explore other opportunities can feel heartless. I'm sure some of you have felt that same knot in your stomach. But I think about it carefully. Keeping them in the same job isn't kindness. It's actually long-term punishment. A role they don't enjoy, they avoid and cannot grow in. And we all know what happens to stagnant water. It starts to stink. So moving them out or moving them to a role suited to their strengths isn't cruelty. It's the best solution for both sides. As leaders, this mindset frees you from the guilt and helps you run the business the way it ought to be run, fairly, firmly, and with dignity for everyone involved. Ah, now we come to the heart of your team. These are people you trust with a blank check. They are reliable, they are caring, the ones you'd happily share your passwords with, but may not let them deliver the client presentation just yet. Now here is the catch. They often show what I call as convenient commitment. That means they're committed as long as the task is comfortable. Think about it. You have probably got someone in your team like this. They are first to volunteer for extra work, happy to stay late, always says yes. But give them something outside of their comfort zone, say a complex task that requires new skills. And suddenly it's like, I'm not sure I can do this. Maybe someone else should. That, my friend, is convenient commitment. Now contrast that with true commitment. True commitment sounds like I've never done this before, but I will learn. And that's the golden moment. You know this person is ready for the next level. So here is a leadership insight. If someone is only doing more of the same BAU work, they are not ready yet. Reliability is great, but leadership requires flexibility. It's about stepping into the unknown and growing the skills. So what's your job as leaders here? Two things. Appreciate them genuinely. Recognition is basically fuels trust. Then stretch them. Give them mentoring, training, assignment that makes them just a little uncomfortable. Do this well, and you won't just have a reliable team. You will have a workforce that is fearless, flexible, and future ready. Now, every leader has at least one of these in the team. People with high capability, however, very low commitment. The geniuses, the superstars, the brilliant mind who works on their own terms. They deliver amazing results, fix production issues in record time, save the day like Iron Man, but they skip meetings. They don't file reports, maybe ghost you on messages. Basically, a dream worker with the ego of a mountain. Now, here is the trap. Many leaders think if I praise them, they will just get even more arrogant. So they withhold appreciation. That's a big mistake. Because here is the trick. Recognize the results first and then challenge the behavior. Picture this. You sit with Arjun, your technical wizard. You tell him, Arjun, your results are outstanding. You are my go-to person for production fixes. But if you want to lead projects, I need more than fixes. I need professionalism. I need timeliness, documentation, collaboration, because leaders don't just solve problems. They set the tone for how problems get solved. Now notice, you did not attack his ego. You gave him a higher level challenge. And for people like this, challenges are oxygen. They thrive on it. On the other hand, if you don't recognize their achievements, thinking they will keep their ego in check, you are actually doing the opposite. You're giving them evidence that their work does not matter. And then why bother? That's how they get stuck in the quadrant of high capability and low commitment. So the winning formula here is appreciate the achievement, challenge them to level up. That's how you turn brilliance with ego into brilliance with impact. Finally, the dream team members. You know who I'm talking about, right? The rock stars, the ones who deliver, cooperate, collaborate, step up without anyone even asking. Basically, the people who make you look good in front of your boss. Now, as leads, your job with them is pretty simple, but very critical. Recognize them, celebrate them, give them the chance to lead. Promotions? Easy decisions, no brainer. But here is the twist. These superstars have one tiny Achilles heel. They are too good, too self-reliant. They treat the new role like it's just extra homework. Suddenly they are doing everyone's work, running around like I will just handle it all by myself. Great for a short-term sprint, terrible for leadership. Because the role isn't about being a hero, it's about building heroes. So that's where you come in. Mentor them on the magic word, delegation. Teach them that leadership isn't carrying everyone's backpack, it's helping everyone carry their own back. Let's pause here for a second. And I'm not making this up. This is hard data. A global study by OS Tanner revealed that 79% of employees who quit said it wasn't about money or workload or even their boss's bad jokes. It was simply because they did not feel appreciated. Think about that. Your best people do not leave for a bigger paycheck. They left because no one bothered to say, hey, you did a great job. As leaders, here is the trap. We assume high performers already know they are valued, and spoiler alert, they absolutely don't. Silence creates doubt, doubt creates disengagement, and disengagement creates, well, an exit interview. So let's lock in a few leadership mantra. Say it, show it often. Doesn't have to be a parade of fireworks. Sometimes it is simple, quick text message, a shout out in a stand up, or even a one line email. Recognition isn't extra credit. It's a glue that keeps your dream team intact. So, this is just a quick recap of what we discussed about each category of people. What are their traits, the actions you need to take to move them to the fourth quadrant, and the possible outcomes of your actions. You can treat this as your leadership playbook. Let's do a quick rewind. Leadership isn't about managing tasks. It's basically about developing people. See them not as they are today, but as they could become tomorrow. Then give them the tools, the challenges, and the recognitions to get there. That's how you build a high performing team this year, next year, the year after that, and beyond. Thank you everyone for being with me till now. Truly appreciate your time. Hope this was useful and you will put the performance matrix to use in this performance cycle and do the necessary to build stronger, better, and high performing teams. Thank you so much.